If I could, I'd build a network of schizophrenic cavemen and begin operations against Wiltshire police, i.e., espionage operations, psychological warfare operations, and psychological terrorism operations against the Wiltshire police networks. However, this isn't going to be possible due to the misdiagnosis going on in the United Kingdom, and people who aren't schizophrenic are being diagnosed as schizophrenic, especially here in Wiltshire. Less so in the cities, indeed. In the cities, it seems a lot more genuine schizophrenics are diagnosed as schizophrenics. However, in places like Wiltshire, a lot of perverts are diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenics to cover up for Masonic child abuse rings. So it's all very interesting to consider, really. Indeed, it would be great to form a network of schizophrenic cavemen and begin operations against Wiltshire police. However, I haven't found the right people yet. So my operations against Wiltshire police are going to be conducted alone for the time being, and shall include espionage, psychological warfare, and psychological terrorism, basically. Indeed, it's interesting to consider that I am an amnesia patient, and I can't remember a couple of months of my life before I ended up in a Belgrade mental hospital. Indeed, I believe I murdered two Albanian mobsters who were engaged in child trafficking, and they also sexually assaulted me. So it's very interesting to consider. Indeed, I am wanted in Macedonia by elements of the Albanian population there for these murders. However, nothing can be proved, and I can talk about it freely. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Wiltshire police monitor my every activity. Indeed, Wiltshire police are monitoring me as I speak now. Now that I've turned the camera on, Wiltshire police are monitoring me from their headquarters in Devizes. So it's all very interesting to consider. Wiltshire police know I am a murderer, but can't do anything about it. So it's all very interesting to consider the fact that I am engaged in this conflict with the Wiltshire police and the Masonic networks that interconnect with it. Indeed, I intend to pump the public domain full of information on Wiltshire police for as long as this can continue, which may be years and years. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I do not wish to be sectioned again. I do not wish to be railroaded into the mental health system. Indeed, I am not a danger to myself or anyone else, despite the fact that I intend to carry out psychological terrorism against Wiltshire police. This form of terrorism is of a psychological nature. I will not be carrying out any physical attacks on police. So it's all very interesting to note the tactics that I intend to use. Indeed, I am trained in psychological warfare due to my training in intelligence operations at various times in my life. Indeed, the majority of this training was programming. However, I remember certain aspects of psychological warfare training, and so I'm in a position to conduct psychological warfare against Wiltshire police, which I intend to do. Indeed, the beams have died down in the last 4 days, which is interesting considering I exposed the fact that it was the Ferris family who were conducting the radiation. However, the remote neural monitoring is continuing, and I am being broadcast at by voice-to-skull techniques. Indeed, the British police are implanting thoughts into my mind and also implanting voices into my head, which is basically what they do. Indeed, I'm expecting the gang stalkers to return in the coming weeks. I haven't seen the gang stalkers for 3 weeks now. However, I'm expecting them to return, what with this being a military town and there being several satanic networks operating in this region. And there's something here that the British police do not want me to talk about, which may or may not be interconnected with the British military. I do not know. I haven't worked out exactly what it is that the British police do not want me to discover in Warminster, but I will attempt to discover it. It's interesting that the remote neural monitoring is done by supercomputer, and basically my electromagnetic frequencies and brain waves are hijacked and basically engineered into this supercomputer, and all of my thoughts are read, and basically I'm under the complete control of the British police. So it's all very interesting to consider the fact that the British police are doing this to me. Indeed, the targeted individual program in Britain is being rolled out only on select individuals. Indeed, it seems these select targeted individuals targeted by the British police who wish to erect a police state are chosen ones in some way. Indeed, we are holy people, engaged in a holy war against the Freemasonic filth of the British police. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the techniques that the British police are using are interconnected with military hardware. And it's interesting to note that the British police are spending a lot of money on this targeting of me. So it's all very interesting to consider, indeed, exactly which networks of the British police are doing this. Indeed, I seem to have amassed hatred of me from at least 98% of the entire British police. Indeed, the British police fear me for some reason, which is interesting considering I am merely a psychotic. I'm a schizophrenic man with amnesia, and the British police seem to be afraid of me, which is interesting indeed. It's only a matter of time before I begin talking to locals about the British police, especially Wiltshire police, and their activities. It's interesting to note how the British police are coordinated by Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst factions within British intelligence. Also, indeed, this is the heritage of the Bavarian Illuminati. The 1776 Bavarian Illuminati is alive and well today within the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst capacity. It's interesting to note that the Bavarian Illuminati were not free thinkers who were operating against the established order at all. Indeed, they merely wished to replace the Vatican and British Empire ritual, child abuse, and human sacrifice rings with their own one, which is basically what we're in the process of witnessing today. Indeed, it's interesting to note that I was just flashed a beam of some sort. It wasn't necessarily a psychotronic beam, but something just happened, and I'm suddenly experiencing very severe tinnitus. And this shows the fact that the Bavarian Illuminati networks are Satanists. And as I began to talk about their agenda, suddenly I was interfered with through electromagnetic frequencies. So it's all very strange, really, what exactly is going on. Indeed, the Bavarian Illuminati were formed from networks connected to the Mad Housekeepers Guild, who had their grand convention in Bremen in 1756. And this network, the Mad Housekeepers Guild, were psychiatrists of their day. Indeed, at the time they were known as mad doctors, And they formed this network with actual mad housekeepers who were more the overarching orderlies of the insane asylum system, which was being erected at the time to attempt to deal with what would have been targeted individuals of the day. Indeed, lunatics and schizophrenics are the chosen ones, and the Freemasons cannot deal with this. Indeed, the Mad Housekeepers Guild were Freemasons of various German Freemasonic orders, such as the Rite of Strict Observance and the Tolerance Lodges and various other networks. Indeed, it's interesting to note that the Bavarian Illuminati was spawned by this network of psychocrats. And indeed, the Bavarian Illuminati interlinked with the Asiatic Brethren. And these networks have all come together in the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst today. All of the German Masonic orders, including the old Prussian Grand Lodge of Freemasonry, are all represented in the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. Indeed, the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst is a Masonic order, a German Masonic order, and it is thoroughly Satanist. And as I stated, as a cabal, it is a large satanic child ritual abuse and human sacrifice ring. And basically, this network are operating for the introduction of a Masonic mystery religion centered around the grand architect of the universe to be implemented here in the United Kingdom in communion with various networks of Anglo heritage, such as the Hellfire Clubs, the majority of British Freemasonry, which is now Illuminized, and the Ancient Order of Druids, who are still operative in the format that they were represented in the early 1700s. Indeed, I've explained the synthesis between the Hellfire Clubs, the 1717 Statute Freemasons, and the Ancient Order of Druids. Indeed, all of these networks were interlinking, and these networks form the Anglo percentage of the Anglo-German cryptocracy that I'm attempting to expose. Indeed, as I stated, the German percentage of the cryptocracy is very much related to the Rite of Strict Observance, the Asiatic Brethren, the Bavarian Illuminati, the Society of Thule, Ordo Templi Orientis, the Prussian Grand Lodge of Freemasonry, and various other networks. Indeed, this network also interlinks and includes the Nazi intelligence structure of the Second World War, i.e. the Abwehr, the Sicherheitsdienst, the SD, the SS networks, Skorzeny networks, and the Gestapo networks. All of these networks are interlinking in this grand German Masonic conspiracy, which interconnects with a grand Anglo-Masonic conspiracy through the networks of the Hellfire Clubs, British Freemasonry, and the Ancient Order of Druids. Indeed, it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, there are so many interconnecting networks of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst through networks at times of the Bundesnachrichtendienst, also interconnecting with the British intelligence services, especially MI6 and defense intelligence, i.e. the military intelligence capacity, and also with the American networks of the CIA, NSA, FBI, etc. All of these networks are truly interlinking and interconnect with the British Crown, which is now coordinated by Templars who are beholden to the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, and of course the Vatican structure, which is now basically under extraterritorial control by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks through the Prevost Mallet family, which interconnects with the Dulles family. And all of these networks are representative of Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst continuums through various secret societies and Anglo-German Masonic orders, who are heavily interconnected. Indeed, this is what John Robeson, in his Proofs of a Conspiracy Against All Religions and Governments, was missing. He was missing the interconnectivity between the German Masonic lodges, the Bavarian Illuminists, the Asiatic Brethren, the French Grand Orient, and various other French Masonic lodges, He was missing the interconnectivity between these Franco-German Masonic lodges and the Anglo-Masonic lodges, i.e. the networks of the Hellfire Clubs, the 1717 statute British Freemasons, and the Ancient Order of Druids. Indeed, all of these networks are entirely and thoroughly interlinked, and these networks are all represented in the British police. The Hellfire Clubs are represented in the British police. The ancient accepted rite of British Freemasons are represented in the British police, and the Ancient Order of Druids are represented in the British police. Indeed, interesting to note what exactly is the inherited continuums of these networks. Indeed, it seems that there is a lot of Druidic mysticism that is inherited by these networks, and also Templar mysticism, as well as Kabbalah. And basically all of these networks are working for the introduction of mystery schools, Masonic mystery schools, through the specifically Anglo-German continuums of Masonic thought. Indeed, the French Masonic lodges have always basically been governed by Anglo-German Masonic theory. So it's all interlinking networks. Indeed, there is also the Hebrew element to various networks also, and we see this with such networks as the Elect Cohens, who were a French Masonic network, but were coordinated by Moranos, Conversos, and Inversos. However, they form a part of the body of Freemasonry of Anglo-German heritage, just as do the Martinists and the Egyptian rite of Freemasonry, i.e. the Order of Memphis Mizraim, which is a synthesis of Egyptian and Hebrew mysticism within Freemasonry. But all of these networks come under the general body of Anglo-German Freemasonry. Indeed, it's still very interesting to notice that the key network of this cabal is the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, which is heavily infiltrated and penetrated British intelligence to the point of absolute control over the Crown Templar networks and the British intelligence and security services themselves, including British military intelligence, i.e. defense intelligence, the British military intelligence capacity. All of these networks are wholly interlinking. Indeed, the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst coordinates the British paedophile agenda in coordination with the British police, who are attempting to erect a police state based on overall Illuminati guidance, whereby a religion based on the grand architect of the universe, i.e. the Masonic deity, Jarbulon, will be instituted in the United Kingdom, complete with druidic ceremonial magic, witchcraft, pagan feast days, and basically human sacrifice, ritual abuse, ritual consumption of human flesh, and necrophilia. Indeed, this is basically how things are working out in the United Kingdom with the erection of the police state. So it is the duty of the chosen ones, i.e. the targeted individuals, to continue the battle against the police state that the Illuminists, Freemasons, and various interconnected networks through the intelligence services, i.e. MI6, specifically General Operations Group 2, 3, and 4 within MI6, and the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst are all attempting to implement in the United Kingdom through the Anglo-German Masonic tradition, which is all really rather scary indeed. Jihadist networks are all coordinated by MI6 in the United Kingdom through networks of MI6 directly interconnected with the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. Indeed, as stated, it's at certain levels of MI6, above certain security clearances, the MI6 networks are directly interweaved with the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst continuum network. So, as I stated, this is a criminal entity. Indeed, the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst is very much a rogue operation. It is an extraterritorial entity. So it is not beholden to any nation state. So it operates free of operational rules that are beholden to any nation state, basically. It's very interesting to consider this entity. Indeed, it's interesting how this entity, the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, connects to the Vatican intelligence structure's key intelligence branch, i.e., the entity. Indeed, the entity is controlled by Turkish and German intelligence operatives. Indeed, these Turkish intelligence operatives are Sabatayan and Bektashi, so they are directly interconnected with the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst intelligence network anyway through the interconnectivity of the lodges of the Sabbatarians and Sufis with the Masonic lodges of the Anglo-German continuum. So all of these networks are directly interconnecting and form a fasciste, basically, that is implementing a certain political structure in the United Kingdom. So this is the currents of Anglo-German Masonry, and it's interesting that they have these subdivisions within the Balkans and the Middle East. Indeed, it is even arguable that the Ismaili assassins are controlling the show, though I'd have to do more research on this. It is interesting to note that the Ismaili assassins contain the Aga, i.e. the Aga Khan, Prince Karim al-Husseini, who is one of the ascended masters. So it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, these ascended masters directly interlink with networks of unknown superiors who govern the Anglo-German Masonic tradition and introduce new degrees, new mysteries, and new Masonic rites throughout over the years. Indeed, it's interesting to note how all of these networks are interconnecting. But as I stated, the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst is a criminal operation. It is a rogue, extraterritorial, fanatical criminal cabal. It is basically an enormous paedophile ring, operative for the introduction of human sacrifice religions in various nations, especially Britain and the United States. So it's always interesting to notice that these networks are targeting me, especially through the British police continuums. Indeed, it's interesting to note that my exposure of the British police network, i.e. the Wiltshire Police headquarters and Devizes Police, has opened up a can of worms. And even lower level operatives of British intelligence are beginning to wonder what on earth is going on here. And it's all very interesting to interconnect everything and try and figure out exactly what is going on, though due to intelligence smokescreens, it is very, very difficult to really get a gauge on exactly what is going on. But all I can state is that British intelligence is coordinated by the Asiatic Brethren through continuums connected to the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. Indeed, the Asiatic Brethren seem to have a stranglehold on British intelligence. So it's interesting to note that the German Masonic orders seem to have gained the ascendancy through interconnectivity with the British Freemasons, Hellfire Club's, and Ancient Order of Druids, who are themselves part of the same traditions as the German Masonic orders, through Templar continuums and Druidry. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. I'm going to leave it there now, but thank you.